Well, greetings everyone, and welcome to another exciting episode of CyberCast IRL. I am your host, Daniel Lowry, and today we're going to have a great time today because I already see a bunch of awesome people in the chat having great conversation. If you want to be a part of that, you can come in pre-show, right? You don't have to wait until the timer ticks down. We have a lot of really cool people having a lot of fun conversation in the chat well before we get started with the show, so feel free to jump in. I already saw someone new today. It was Lester. Oh man, what was it? Lester. I'm going to get it. Well, LesterNet. Welcome to the show, LesterNet. Glad to have you today. Hopefully, I'm coming in loud and clear for everyone. You know what I forgot to do? I forgot to do the thing where I check my sound settings because this happens. Yeah. Let's try that. Maybe a little bit of that. How's that? That should be better. These stinking windows. Anyway, welcome to CyberCast IRL. If you are new like LesterNet today, well, at least he's catching the show for the first time, at least live. I don't know if he's watched it before. But if you're watching, this is your first time, you're like, what is this CyberCast thing all about? It's really simple. It's just people having a conversation about cybersecurity stuff. That's what we do. That's how we live because we enjoy it, and it's a lot of fun. So we try to get in here and go, hey, man, I got some questions about this. Or did y'all see that? It's crazy. And that's what we do. And we learn from each other and we grow off of that knowledge and help support each other with things that we need to do or learn or figure out. So that's what it's all about. You also, hot takes are welcome. If you absolutely hate AI or if you love it to death and it's you wrap yourself in an AI blanket every night and worship it as your digital overlord, that's cool. Everyone's allowed to come to the table with that and kind of speak their part as long as it stays civil. Right? We like to respect each other here and have differing opinions. That is totally cool. But because I like that because we learn from it, right? I might have never thought of that position before. I might have never seen it from that perspective. And it can really help us all kind of, get better at this whole thing. All right. Now, again, if you are new to the show and you want to actually get my attention, well, there's a good way of doing it. Much like you see here with Tech Ricky, let me know the audio is much better now. Yes, that's the one step I always forget. You trust your computers to some extent, and that's a mistake. That's just a mistake. You can never trust, always verify. But thank you. But you can see how Tech Ricky here has let me know that by adding my name that the audio is much better, and I can really easily see that in the chat. I'm just making sure everything looks good. I feel off today. I feel like a little not on it. But look at all these people we got in the chat here, right? We've got Carrie, we've got Rainan, we've got Wayne's Real World. Wayne's Real World will try to help out. He's kind of our unofficial moderator. Yeah, where if I'm missing something, he'll kind of spam me in the chat there to let me know, hey, so-and-so's trying to ask you a question or get your attention about such and such. There's Wes Bryan right there. What's up, Wes? Brother Noomsa. So very, very cool. So this is how we do it. You guys get in the chat. You talk to me. AI is the devil as his foosball, Sister Apocalypse. Oh, man, I do love the chat. Y'all make my day. That's what's up. There's FedEx in the house. Victor Rosa. Who else we got in here? Nerdpocalypse, obviously making me laugh. Space Tacos showed up. What up? CJ Gagney, my man. Good to see you, brother. Phil Stafford, Tech Grunt. There's my boy. I got a special pour for you. I'm actually going to call you out because I'm pretty sure that you let me know about this weeks ago, and I mistook what you were telling me for something else. So, but before we get too far down the road, I want to give a special shout outs to a listener, a watcher, a viewer. And his name is Glenn. Glenn, you know what's up. You know who you are, Glenn. I know your birthday is today. So a special shout out to my boy, Glenn, who I've got to hang out with various and sundry times at different CyberCons. I heard it's your birthday today. So I just want to say happy birthday, bro. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being such a cool person, a great member of the cybersecurity community. Dude, we really appreciate all you do, everything that you just bring to the table. It's such an awesome thing. And you're such a cool guy. Every time we've had a chance to chill, I've come from a better person and something. It's always been a positive experience. So thanks for watching, bro. Appreciate you. I hope you have a great birthday. Everybody just tell Glenn happy birthday if you know who I'm talking about. I'm not going to give his last name, because knowing Glenn, he might not want me to say that. So we'll leave it to that. All right. Happy birthday, Glenn. Let's see. That brings us to the morning pour. For you good folks out there and are new to this, This is a little ASMR treat that we like to do every Friday morning, where I grab the Lord's Camo Cup. Who some of you have actually gotten to see the Lord's Camo Cup in person at this point, thanks to Simply CyberCon. But we grabbed this lovely cup that I've been dragging around God's earth for quite a few years at this point, full of ice, and we grab a zero sugar Monster Energy drink because I love zero sugar Monster Energy drinks. And this is where TechGrunt11 comes in. I'm pretty sure it was you a few weeks ago, honestly. You said, "Oh, I've got this in hand," and I mistook it for Strawberry Dreams over here. I thought that's what you had. I think it was Strawberry Dreams. That's what I thought you had. But I think you had this one because my wife comes to me and she's like, "I bought you a new Monster. There's a new Monster." I said, "What? There's a new Monster?" She said, "Yeah, here it is." And it's Ultra Wild Passions. I believe that if I poured this into my camo cup and stuck it on top of my head, my tongue would beat my brains out trying to get at it. It's probably so good. That's how delicious. Yeah, Wayne's Real World says, sounds like uncle-sized Tupperware cup. It has become that. That's a great analogy. This is my uncle-sized Tupperware cup, except it's, double insulated. And now I've got a new, I am super excited today. I get to try a new Monster. And that's not something that happens every day for your boy. So let's get to it. We got to get the crack. Let's get the crack. Get my face out of the way. It was loud. That kind of hurt my ear for a second there. Okay. And with that, we got to get to the pour. Pour. Are we ready, kids? Actually, man, I got to bring this down. There we go. And now I don't have to go so high. Are we ready? Okay, pour. Surprised me by the color. I thought it would be purple. Whoa, it's super foamy. Oh my goodness, it's like super foamy. I'm not. I gotta stop. I got like a quarter of a can left. That was crazy. It's extremely carbonated. But oh man, you got a good fizz on that, right? I'll have to go back for more. Give it a little tap because the ice stuck. There we go. Let's see here. Oh, that is what is that? Oh man. Oh, it's super chilly. But that is good. That's good. Baby pour. There we go. Wow. It was really carbonated off the top there, but a really good fizz. Oh man. It's very refreshing. Cool. Oh man, that's good. Oh man, I gotta get the top on that. I'm gonna lose my mind. Up in here. That is not bad. That's not bad at all. So now that I am fully caffeinated, refreshed, and ready to fly, I got my tackling fuel in. Thank you, Bobby Boucher. Let's check the chat again, and let's just kind of get caught up. You guys have been chatty today. Let's kind of scroll up here. There's the Uncle Size Tupperware cup by Wayne. A little bunch of happy birthday to our man Glenn. Good morning, Space Tacos. Phil Stafford says, I'm in San Francisco. Yeah, it's taking over Holiday. Drive the taxis now. That's a fun thing. Who gets in trouble if it hits a person, right? Like if you have a self-driving car and you are not driving the car and it hits someone or something, do you have to insurance payout, or is that the car manufacturer's liability? That's an interesting thought. If anybody knows, throw that in chat. That grunt says, we are in the presence of greatness. The Lord's Camo Cup has entered the chat. Yes, it has. And it is doing a wonderful yes, ultra wild passions. Cue the sax for the morning pour. You notice I keep going back to the well there for more because it is delish. A mighty fine crack indeed, Legarat. Daniel Lowry's crack is mighty and loud. I gotta stop reading every little line you guys have because I'm never gonna get to actual cyber stuff. Let's see here. Imagine all the monsters Daniel will be drinking in the wall of the studios. Listen, there are so many cans in this office. People think that I'm a weird fiend, that I like they're worried about my health. I'm like, no, I do it once a week. It's under control. They're like, that's what every person says. That you have to admit you have a problem. I happen to see Space Tacos there has a queue. Have any of the monster drinks had a spicy taste to them? No, they're always usually sweet without being too sweet. If they are tart, they're not overly tart where you're like, like the Ghost. Yeah. Tech Ricky says he went with Welch's Ghost Welch's grape this morning. I tried it, man. There's an episode, and it wasn't great. I was not a fan. So God bless you, Tech Ricky. You enjoy that Welch's Ghost. To each his own. But for me, that is not going to happen. I have tried the Ghost, and it is not my friend. Oh, Wayne's real. You guys are funny. Let's see here. Okay. Great stuff. Moving on. Oh, yeah. And I think, did I miss something here? Anywho. Yeah. I was telling you about the monster cans. I have so many monster cans in this place. It is stinking crazy. All right. Well, let's get into technology. Let's get into cyber. If you guys got questions and stuff you want to bring up, you know what to do. Throw that in the chat. That's where we do all this magical stuff. Hope everybody's having a great Friday as well. Let's see here. Did I see that DoorDash was breached again, says Furious George. I did not. But you know what we can do? You know what's a fun thing to do? Let's get the old browser up here. Yeah, CISO Online. We did that last week. I don't need you to remember everything I do. But let's go check out the DoorDash breach. Let's check that out. Breach. Since you brought it up, what's going on? DoorDash recently experienced a data breach on October 25th, 2025, where unauthorized access to user information occurred, potentially exposing names, phone numbers, addresses, and email addresses. The company has notified affected users and advised them to be cautious of phishing attempts and to consider changing their passwords. A new data breach. This is what I can't stand is when you read these articles and there's no, like, how did it happen? Does it say how it happened? That's what I'm always interested in. I want to know how. It was a phishing campaign. Is that how it occurred? Was it a 0 day? Was it something that they should have patched but haven't? And therefore, I can no longer trust DoorDash with my sensitive information, such as my name, address, and phone number? Not that I did anyway, honestly. Let's see here. Beginning yesterday, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I just give me the good stuff here. Your personal information was affected. Okay, so there's the stuff you got to know. So if you're a DoorDash user, I don't think I've ever used DoorDash, to be honest with you. So your first and last name, your physical address, your phone number, and your email address. All right, PII stuff that could be used for identity theft. The incident has been traced to DoorDash employee. Here we go. Finally, thank you. Let's get to it. Falling victim to a social engineering scam. Upon becoming aware, of course, they don't tell us what that's like saying, I want to be a doctor. Okay. What kind of doctor do you want to be? There's a lot like, what kind of social engineering scam? Help us out here. Let us know so that we can prepare ourselves and be better informed for ourselves and our clients, our customers, or whoever we work for, our employers. Upon becoming aware, this incident response team shut down the unauthorized party's access, started an investigation, and referred to the matter to law enforcement. The disclosure does not specify how many users were affected, though the company says the incident impact was a mix of consumers, dashers, and merchants. So, okay, that's not good. This marks the third notable incident suffered by the delivery giants. I mean, they say, they are a delivery giant, so they are going to get targeted quite a bit, I would assume. Let's see here. Expose information of roughly 5 million customers in 2019. So if you stuck around to the, how much of this data is now just a duplicate of the data that was released in 2019, right? I would love to know that. I would love to know the deltas on that. Interesting. No, Daniel, no. All right, we'll get that out of the way. Let's go check. Let's see what we got going on here. So there you go. If you're a DoorDash person, I'm guessing you got yourself an email this week that said, hey, our bad. Here's some free credit monitoring. You just pile it in the corner with all the other free credit monitoring you have. All right, Super User Do says, can we talk DMARC and how to explain it to clients? Okay, so DMARC is a long acronym that I do not recall exactly. Domain something. I'm bad at acronyms. Wes, you're in the house. Throw the DMARC acronym in chat for me, bro, because I know you're. So Wes and I are like the opposite when it comes to the acronym soup. I'm horrible at remembering exactly what acronyms mean. I know what they are and what they do. I don't necessarily remember exactly what the acronym stands for. Wes is better than me because he knows what they are and what they do and what the acronyms mean. So I'm going to give him credit where credit is due on that one. So DMARC, so this is all about email. And oh my goodness, now I gotta look it up. Where's my thing here? Let's go DMARCing. DMARC. So there's like 3 different things for email security to use, which is SPF, right? Which is Sender Policy Framework. So I do remember one of them. DKIM, Domain Keys Identified Mail, and DMARC. Yeah, there's DMARC. All right, so let's look that up. There they are. Easy DMARC. Let's get into this thing. Have some fun today. Does it have the, what does DMARC stand for? Because it is the devil. Here we go. Thank you, Search Assistant. I'm sure you will have all the information necessary. All right, Sender Policy Framework. So basically what SPF does is say, hey, here are the authorized senders that I will allow to receive email from, right? And that's basically what it says here. SPF allows domain owners to specify which mail servers are authorized to send emails on behalf of their domain. So this kind of helps with spoofing. We want to keep spoofing from happening. This is all done through DNS as TXT records or text records, which are just DNS records that you can put just anything you like into. Really cool stuff, and it's a nice little thing you can add on. There's nothing wrong with it. All right, so then there's domain keys, and this is where you have like a signature. You throw a signature on your email, if I'm not mistaken. There it is. DKIM adds a digital signature to emails, ensuring that the message has not been altered during the transit, which we like, because then if someone actually somehow got a hold of your email and modified it in some way, I don't know, like a bank statement with routing numbers or like an invoice, and they changed the numbers on that, that would be something you would want to know had happened, right? My email shouldn't change from when it got sent to the time it gets in my inbox. That's what DKIM is attempting to help us out with, okay? So the private key, if we all remember how encryption works with public key encryption, you have private key and public key, and the public key can encrypt things and only the private key can decrypt it. And the private key can encrypt things and only the public key can decrypt it. So that's how this works. We use a private key to sign the email, right? And then everybody has access to our public key because it's public. And then when I check that signature, I can verify that it was actually right, because the signature is just a hash of the document. And then that hash has been encrypted using the private key. I decrypt that hash using the public key. I verify that the hashes are the same, and there you go, right? I think I've got all that straight in my head. It's a bit, it's a bit complex, not going to lie. And then there's DMARC. Here it is, domain-based message authentication, reporting, and conformance. Is my nose bleeding? Like, what the heck? Why would we name this? Who, anyway. Excuse me. I inhaled some of the effervescence that is my monster, and its O2 quality was very poor. My lungs were like, hey, this oxygen sucks. I'm like, yeah, but Monster's good, right? And it said, yeah, I guess it's all right. And it let it in. So anyway, couldn't we just stop with domain-based message authentication? The reporting and conformance, I mean, it just seems like extra, right? So this is kind of cool where this actually checks for SPF or DMARC, and then has like a routing capability. Like it's almost like a firewall, right? Where it says, hey, I'm going to accept this, I'm going to reject this, or is it junk? There's some like tags that go on with these things. So DMARC builds on SPF and DKIM by providing instructions on how to handle emails that fail authentication checks. Right. So this is the firewall portion. Hey, I've basically got kind of an ACL here. You didn't follow the rules. There's no SPF. There's no DKIM. I require one of those two things, which you don't have. Here's what we're about to do with you. Okay. Domain owners publish DMARC records in DNS specifying actions for emails that specify. So, right, quarantine or reject. It also allows for reporting of authentication results, helping domain owners monitor their email security. So it just adds a little extra on there. This prevents spoofing and phishing attacks, improving email deliverability, and so on and so forth. So let's go back to what your actual question was. Can we talk about DMARC and explain it to clients? So how do we explain that to clients? Well, with SPF, we can say, hey, that's a cool thing because only the servers that we authorize to send us email or send email on our behalf is going to be allowed to do that. And then when it comes to whether or not things have changed, that's where that DKIM comes in, right? And then if anything does get weird, if we don't have one of those things, we can now check and not just check, but we can check for one of those things, make sure that's being done, and quarantine that out, have better monitoring, and understand, hey, maybe someone is targeting us, and we can stop those phishing emails, keep data breaches from happening. You just have to kind of like figure out what the risk is to that business, and then, or basically what is the business strategy, I guess, for lack of a better term. What are they trying to do? Why are they in business? How do they make money? And how would this affect them from making money? You tie that into that risk, and that's how you explain it to them. You speak their language on, you know what this is going to do? This is going to allow people to steal money from us if we don't do this. This is going to make it easier for people to do a data breach to us if we don't do this. And that data breach is going to lead to loss of clients, loss of customers, poor experience, maybe even sanctions from the government or whatever, depending on the actual business that you're in. So there you go. That's how I would explain it to the clients. So there you go. Yeah. Good, interesting question. I mean, I did not expect to do a mini lesson on SPF, DKIM, and DMARC this morning. But hey, I hope that helps. Tech Ricky says the Welch's grape ghost is way better than the watermelon one you tried. Yes. Both of them were not good, though. I'm sorry. Let's see here. Wayne's Real World. Amish Brain asked you. Oh, I hate when it does that. Where was Wayne? Wayne. Amish Brain asked best software program, AR or otherwise, to take bug bounty work to sanitize for public release. I don't know, because I've never done that. I've never done I've never disclosed anything that I've done. A lot of times, first you got to get permission from the bug bounty program owner. So whatever organization you were doing a bug bounty for, you got to get permission for that. But on that, I mean, you know what's going on the best because you wrote the thing up. So, but as far as a software to sanitize it for public release, I don't know. That's a great question, Amish Brain. What would we use? I mean, for me, I would just go in and use some sort of annotation software. And I would, any of my screenshots or any of the write-up stuff that I was doing, and if I need to sanitize it, I'd just be putting black bars over everything. You know what I mean? And that's typically what you see when you see a disclosed vulnerability out on some security researcher's website or blog or whatever the case is that's how it goes. I don't know of any software that would be able to do that or does that. I'm sure it exists. I mean, AI could be helpful for it. I don't know. That's a good question. Do we want to go down that rabbit hole? Do we want to try to figure that out? Okay, where's the browser? Let's get to it. Let's see. Let's see here. Automate bug bounty report on my redaction. Maybe that's redaction. Can we do that? Is there not many results? Automated bug bounty workflow, complete implementation guide. All right, so this is a Medium article. Undercoding, automates your way to critical blah, blah, blah. This is more about actually doing bug bounty and not necessarily the report. So yeah, that's going to be a tough one. It's going to be a toughie. Nature abhors a vacuum. So maybe that's something you could start working on. That could be a good project. All right, moving on, because I don't know. We're at 10:26, so we got to get some more stuff in here. New rule. When Daniel Lowry fumbles a word or two, he takes a drink from Lord's Camo Cup. Uno reverse card in play. Did I fumble a word? Because it's possible. I do that from time to time. Life's a garden. Dig it. Yeah, that's right, Justin Gold. Man, if my name was Kicking Wing, I'd change my name to Kicking. That movie is funny. I just fumbled a word. There we go. I got to take a drink. I just did it again. I don't know what's going on. But I keep trying to breathe monster, and that's not a good idea. All right, Victor Rosa says, I pointed out a permissions issue where an admin forgot to turn off inheritance. Would you consider a doe? A permissions issue where admin forgot to turn off inheritance. If they knew they should and they forgot, that's absolutely a doe moment. Like Homer Simpson, doe! Right? Yep. I would, yes. The answer is yes. The Lost Gambler says, talking about the DMARC stuff, a domain-based message authentication reporting performance is an email security protocol that uses the existing standards of SPF and DKIM. There I go, drink. To verify the sender's identity. Excellent. That's a phenomenal write-up on that. Good job. Furious George, any good resources for understanding HAR files? I don't know what an HAR file is, to be honest with you. I have such a hard time going through HAR files, or HAR files, when troubleshooting website functionality. What the heck is an HAR or a HAR file? Website HAR file. What is that? How to create a HAR file from Google Chrome. Troubleshooting network performance issues, including what? How to work with HAR files. Here it is. This is the one I want. What is HAR file? Tell me, because I don't know. It's a JSON archive file format that stores browsing data across multiple browsers. It works by storing data session between the client and the server. And otherwise, a HAR file is, or in other words, I've got to take a drink. Now you got me on a roll. Thanks a lot. Is used to save all the web requests made by the browser. File is often used to analyze and find vulnerabilities. Gotcha. I've never actually done this before, honestly. Researchers use this file to detect bugs and vulnerabilities. Let's see here. Is a JSON file format that stores browsing data. Okay, that's interesting. Session data between client and server. So this is going to have all the requests and replies from the client and the server in it. Interesting. And it's saved as a HAR extension. Website performance is very, very important for many reasons. Many websites suffer from slow loading speeds, sluggish page rendering process, excessive computing resources. In such cases, one could generate a HAR file and analyze it. This way, the site administrator can fix performance issues with the website and ensure optimum performance. Shows you how much I'm doing with websites lately, right? Users can generate and open a HAR file in Google Chrome, blah, blah, blah. Here's the simple steps that you can do this. In step 17, right? Here's the simple steps. Open Chrome. On the web page that needs to be analyzed, open Developer Tools. Select Developer Tools. Select Network tab. Click on small red button on the left side of the menu page. Button is grayed out. That means it's already recording. To avoid confusion, you can delete log records, keep the browser, or kept on the browser by clicking clear icon. After that recording, you can save as HAR file. So I'm probably just more along the lines of I just fire up the browser, get the Developer Tools open, and then go to Network, and then start watching what's going on there, right? Which is what it seems like this is kind of doing. But this is interesting. Yeah, really cool. I didn't know this was there. Or use something like Burp Suite to record all the back and forth that's going on. I just used an attack proxy. So I've never saved a HAR file before or even heard of them. Really interesting stuff. Did not know that was there. Okay, that takes us back to your question. Any good resources for understanding HAR files? I have such a hard time going through HAR files when troubleshooting website functionality. So from what I just read and what it sounds like they're saying is that it is a record of each transaction that's done between your client to the server. Right? So when you click a link or whatever, and it makes that request, you're just going to record that request. It's going to record everything that's in that request. And then the response is also going to come back. It's going to record that too. Again, this is something I normally do in things like Burp Suite. And then you can look through it at a later time and go, cool, what's going on here? Let me look at this and get a good idea of when I click in, you know what? Okay. Let's do something real quick. Let's have some fun. It's 10. We're at the mid. Oh, I hate when I do this. Hold on, kids. Hold on, kids. Papa Dan here has made a mistake. I'll do this just on all the desktops. Thank you. All right, let's go here and let's start Burp Suite. Burp Suite, because this is basically what's going on. Yeah. Keep going. Next, start Burp. Come on, Burp. You can do it. Thank you. Okay, so now let's open a browser. And let's get Foxy Proxy, turn a proxy on. And wowzers. And let's just go to Google, right? We'll go to google.com. Off it goes. We went to Google. Let's go back to Burp Suite. Let's go to the proxy tab. Let's hit HTTP history. Just from typing in google.com, this is what happened. So I clicked google.com, and then it went to www.google.com, and then it went to this request. See this GET request down here? Like all this stuff, and then there's the response. So there's the request. There's the response. All this stuff happened, and this is all the tracking things that are happening. Look, see this lovely request? There's the cookie, there's the host, and so on and so forth, right? It did all of this. All of this happened. This is a post request. Here's information that it sent during that, and it just keeps redirecting from one thing to the next. Or it fires all that stuff off when... Now I can understand a little better about what happens when I type in google.com and hit enter. It makes all these wonderful, look at this, -pa.client6. So this is, you'll notice that's a post request. So it's sending data. Let's look in the post body. You can look down here and see what's going on in the post body. What is all that? I don't know. Do you? Looks great. And we can see all this information that is getting sent along as we move to google.com. I would assume that's what the HAR files are doing. And now you can get a better idea. So, like, do I need to do all this? I have literally built a text-based browser because sometimes all I want is links, and I don't want targeted ads and all the other stuff that goes along with it. And of course, you got browsers like Brave and things that kind of help you to alleviate yourself from that. But sometimes I don't even want the description. I just want link. So I built like a script that removed all the garbage from Google when you make a Google request and just gave me links. So that's one of the things you can do with it. I don't know whether or not that's going to help you or not, but yeah, there you go. Come on, computer, work with daddy. There we go. So hopefully that's an interesting thing. Thank you for bringing up HAR files. I'm going to look more into that because obviously if it's being used for security vulnerabilities, discovering them, I want to learn more. So there we go. Cools. All right, this is going to jump on us. I know it. Oh, Tyler Ramsby's here. What's up, Tyler? Can someone hack my girl? Man, if your wife ever finds out you got a girlfriend, bro, you are in deep shiitake mushrooms, my good man. She is not going to have that. No, she will not. There's Lester Nat. Thanks again for the welcome. I pastor a small mid-sized church and am increasingly concerned with protecting our organization. Can you talk steps to do some hardening? Love this. Oh man, this is such a cool. I have talked about this many times, that there are a lot of people in chat right now that are like, I'd love to get some real hands-on experience doing this stuff. And here's LesterNet saying, hey, I've got a church. What can we do? You know, we have computer systems. They need some security. Can somebody please help me? Anybody in the chat willing to help out and reach out to LesterNet? Join the Discord. By the way, there is a link to our Discord. Let me know if it's not working. I'm not sure if I updated it. If not, I'll grab it. And actually, I'll put it in chat right now. That way, we can make sure that we have the right thing. Invites. Grab that. Copy. Thank you. Disable that because I hate it. Throw that into chat and paste. Here comes. All right, so there's the link to Discord. So if you want to join the Discord, I just slapped it in chat. If that's not the right link in the description, I'll make sure to update that after we get done filming. But get together with some people that would be willing to, right, to use their capabilities, their skills to go and help people like LesterNet here. Some stuff to do with hardening. The CIS hardening guides, anything from NIST and things of that nature, you can look into that. If you've got the wherewithal to do that, if you've got the skills and the knowledge to really work with that stuff. Other than that, you know, we need more people that are, everybody's now joining the chat, joining the Discord. We need more people to help those like yourselves that maybe not having the funding or whatever the case is, or just knowing where to start to do some actual security hardening on their systems. I love that you reached out. I love that I'm actually doing this for my church right now. A couple of weeks ago, I got together with one of the elders. We sat down. We worked out a plan on doing things like asset discovery, software and hardware bill of materials. I've talked about this before, where we're doing all the things where we got to get you to where we can do some hardening. So let's figure out what we look like as far as our technological footprint goes, our attack surface, as it were. Let's build some spreadsheets. Let's make some IPs. Let's have a network diagram. Let's have all that fun stuff that a normal enterprise network would have. It's what's cool about it is it's not going to be as huge. So the undertaking is going to be a bit smaller, but it's all production stuff, right? It's real world things. So just like LesterNet is reaching out here, join the Discord, get together with some people, and get them vouched for that can help you with this. And start leaning into, just off the top of my head, I would say the CIS controls. Just grab that and start working your way through it, looking at what systems that you have and seeing what can you just do right out of the gate that doesn't take a lot of technological know-how per se. But that is a great question. I'm so glad you brought that up. Thank you for joining. See, Lester, the Lord is sovereign, and he knew you needed to come here today and hang out with us. So my hat's off to you. Thank you for joining us. What's up, Khalifa? From France. We come from France. That's a Coneheads reference. I love that. But really cool. And there it jumped. Okay, let's get back here. What else we got going on today? We got 20 more minutes. Don't worry, kids. We got Tech Next coming up soon. I like to give it to like the last 10 or so minutes because that's just a fun ending to the show. Okay. There we are. Looks like I caught up. Hopefully that helps, Lester. And yeah, it's a great way for all of us to kind of get some hands on. Where are we at? Amish Brain says, I may not have tagged you. So sorry. No problem. No problem. That's why we got Wayne. And look, Wayne he's doing his level best, and he did a great job. Thank you, Wayne, as well. Wayne, and speaking of Wayne, Station X has a really good class on that for bug bounty. Cool. I will check that out. Let's see here. What else we doing? TechCrunt admitted that he inhales Monster. Guess he's not running for office anytime soon. Be like, oh man, y'all got that Monster. I need some of that Monster, yo. Payload Payton. I wanted to create a segment in Discord called Dear Daniel. LOL, to expand, but since we are limited on characters, how do you deal with burnout? I'm about to walk away from cyber. Oh, man. Okay, let's just start off with, I get it. I totally get it, right? It's, especially right now, it's flipping tough. It's just tough. What I've had to do, because I'm going to be honest, I'm going to bare my soul. I am, what you see is what you get. I feel you, bro. I remember saying, I'll never be that dude that burns out. There's so much cool stuff to learn. There's so much cool stuff to do. I think part of the problem with burnout comes from feeling like you've got to learn it all. And because I'm someone on the internet that people come and sit in a chat room with and hang out with and expect to get a good answer from, I really feel that pressure, right? But as you can see today, I don't, even if I do know it, it doesn't mean I work with it every day and deal with it and remember all the fine details. I can run to the internet and I don't have to feel like I have to know everything, because that's a fool's errand. It's never going to happen. It's just not going to happen. And that can be a part of that burnout, is feeling like you're just constantly chasing after something and never really reaching to where you think you should be. So on your side of the fence, take a step back. Take a step back and let it be okay to say, I don't know everything about everything, and never will I have that happen, right? Okay, now we can chill, a little bit of chill anyway, right? And then have some fun. Why did you get into cyber in the first place? Was it fun? Did you find it interesting and go, man, this is super fun? If that was the case, then find the fun again. And that's part of the reason I do this show, because it can feel overwhelming. It can feel like we're doing all this stuff and none of it really works. Nobody's buying in. No one's doing the thing. And even if we are doing all the right things, we can still get popped. And that's just like frustrating, right? Or if I'm trying to get into this line of work and it's just not happening because no one's hiring anything right now, and you look at the job market and it's just a big fat dumpster fire of, yeah, right? That's frustrating. I get it. I sympathize and I empathize with you on that. Okay. So for me, it's been just go like have some fun with it again, because I constantly right now I'm riding the roller coaster of, should I just go be a truck driver or, you know what I mean? Because the market sucks. No, and there's AI things. It's fine. It is what it is. Whether it's going to be Wade Wells was talking about this before. He's like, I'm really afraid for my job because AI could do so much. And I feel like that is a thing, at least to an extent. And that's disheartening, but it goes back to, that's what I tend to do. What about cyber attracted me to it in the first place? It was interesting. It was fun. It was like, oh, this is really cool. I'm learning about stuff. And then the idea of I was able to find and exploit vulnerabilities. That's super fun. And I tell a lot of people, it's like, and maybe cyber is not the career necessarily for you. Maybe it's just IT. Or maybe it's something else and you just like cyber as a hobby. We've got so much out there now that allows you to have cyber as a hobby and kind of scratches that itch of, I want to do cybery stuff. And you just got to figure out whether or not that's you. Is that you? Or are you so passionate about it, you just need to take a minute, get off the treadmill, go touch grass, do something else, find the fun in it again, and then re-enter back in, and then go back to it as passionately as you once were. I think we all kind of go through that. So you're not alone, and that's cool, right? To feel that, to know that like your brothers and sisters in arms out there all go through this. Everybody's going to go through this at some point in time. To what level and extent is probably different. Some people feel it more than others, but the fact that you know that they're there going, hey man, I feel you. I get it. I get it. Take your hands off the wheel for a minute, go do something else, and then come back to it with a fresh set of eyes, and maybe you'll find that passion once again. So hopefully that's what's going on with you. And that could be a good thing for us to put into Discord. Is like, burnout alley. Yeah, maybe that's what I'll call it. The burnout room, where everybody that's feeling burned out, they can go in there and kind of vent their frustration with what's going on. And no one's allowed to have judge. No one's allowed to like, well, actually you got the wrong perspective on this. That's really not what's going on. You're not allowed to. It's just a place for you to go in and go, I hate cyber right now, and it's okay for me to say that. I think it is. I think you should be able to say that, especially for those of us that have been close enough to it to go, hey, listen, it's got warts, right? It is not as awesome in every aspect. It is not the sinless perfection we thought it once was. It has its problems, and if you get deep enough down the rabbit hole, you got to deal with them, and that can lead to burnout. This was a great topic of comment. Man, we're having some great chat today. This is some real talk, man. Hey, what's the podcast called? It's CyberCast IRL in real life, and in real life, we can feel like this ish is like overwhelming from time to time and frustrating from time to time. So thank you for bringing that up, man. I appreciate that. All right. FedEx is jumping in here with talking about HAR files. Thanks for the extra info on that, my brother. Let's see here. Tech Grunt. Fun fact, Daniel doesn't make mistakes. They become happy little trees in the Amazon. Oh, man, those are such good. Yeah, I love the Daniel Lowry facts. All right. The Discord link is not working, says Keith Sloan. So the Discord link that I put in. Okay, cool. Yeah, I will fix that later. Thank you. Carrie says Cookie Monster was sad since he had to delete his cookies from the internet. I bet he was. Cookie Monster loved cookies. Let's see here. Jumping back up. Amish Brain says, I don't know why, but Discord, it feels like home. Good. That's what I hope it could be. And join Wes's Discord. Yeah, good job there, Wayne. And Kathy Chambers as well. Then Simply Cyber. Like all cool people, all great Discords. So jump in, hang out. Wayne's Real World saying, try the audit scripts for beginners. I love learning new things. Space Tacos. Why is your Discord on fire? I'm going to need to mute a few times. Right? It's going crazy right now. I keep hearing it too. I'm like, what in the world is going on in the Discord? Man, that's fun stuff. Let's see here. Did I miss anything? Yeah, cool. Let's scroll back down. It's almost time for Tech Next, kids. I'm going to grab a few more of these. Amish Brain says, I agree. Thank you for saying that. We should be a safe place to let people vent. Absolutely. Tech Grunt. Daniel Lowry preaching the gospel right now. Preach. You know me. I will do it. Don't make me. I get up on here comes. You heard the neck starting to come out on me? That's what was up. All right. Oh, and Tyler Ramsby says, hack smarter. That's right. Thank you, Tyler. Don't forget, join Tyler Ramsby's as well. Kathy Chambers jumping in here saying, I'm here just listening while I work. Good to have you. Glad to have you, as always. All right, dudes and girls, it's time for, you know what it's time for. I don't actually have like a trucker hat per se, but this is as close because it's got the mesh and it's a Dark Horse Business Solutions. And you can see how much I wear it and how acidic or salty my sweat is because this color, that's the original color of this hat. And this is from me sweating in it. It has turned quite a different color at this point. But I'm going to have to put this on right here like this and just slide up on in. By the way, I don't know if you can see that. I am wearing Carhartts today. That's what's up. I got to get my Carhartt on. It's time for Tech Neck News, kiddos. Y'all ready to kill it? Get out of the way, stupid hoodie. Jeez. My goodness. All right, what are we doing? Let me grab the browser. We got ourselves a lovely little thing to read about on the news today. Let me go grab it. I got to grab my URL that I saved. Copy that. Put it in the browser. Son of a rat bat. Anyway, paste and go. This one comes from Malware Bytes. Little interesting thing I saw today. And apparently it blocked 11 ads or trackers from this site. Take that. My DuckDuckGo browser working overtime today. Unlike Billy, who's a lazy SOB, ain't do nothing. I can't get that boy to work for nothing. I don't know why we keep him around other than he's funny as hell. And every now and then he shows up pissed drunk, but you know what? He's worth it for the entertainment value alone. All right, so we opened a fake invoice and fell down a retro XWorm shaped wormhole. Oh man, thanks Malware Bytes. Someone forwarded an invoice email and asked me to check the attachment because it looks suspicious. Good instinct, because it was. And what we found inside was a surprisingly old trick hiding in a modern threat. Old but gold, as they say, right, baby? You know what I'm talking about. Where's my skull cup? This is not Natty Ice, by the way. This is only Monster. I swear. Oh, man, nothing like getting right first thing in the morning. You know what I'm talking about. Right, Craig? I know your name's not Craig, but you're Craig today. That's how it works. All right, what it does. What's going on with this thing? Oh, y'all can't even see it, man. Stinking. Everybody's thing got in the way there. There it is. Plus, I'm drunker than Cooter Brown right now. What are you going to do? This is what happens when you get hammered first thing in the AM because, it's a day that ends in Y, and that's what your walking bush can. What can you say? If the recipient had opened the attached Visual Basic script, what is this, 1998? What's going on with VB scripts? No, that's legit. It would have quietly installed a remote access Trojan known as backdoor.xworm. You see, I'm starting to get a little too much of the fun juice here. Once active, it could have let the attackers steal files and passwords on the personal data, record keystrokes. Oh man, don't get on Billy's computer. That's going to be, you're like, what is this man typing up? What kind of website is he going into right now? My word. Everybody's got their kink or whatever, but this kid's got problems. I feel like we need to, see something, say something when it comes to Billy. Also spy on the user. Again, you're going to have to wash your eyes out with bleach when you look at what Billy's got going on, man. We don't allow him around the general public. I got to be honest with you. It can also install other malware, including ransomware. I mean, if you can get it, son, go grab you. I'll let you have it. Everything happens silently with no alerts or windows. It's built to avoid antivirus tools and hand over complete control of the PC. So, right, remote access. I think you said that when you said this right here, remote access Trojan. This is what that is. Okay. Anyway, thanks Malware Bytes for clearing it up. Appreciate you. I know I'm drunk right now, but I ain't that drunk. All right, let's see here. Here's the invoice. Hi, please find attached the list of invoices we have processed. You already lost me, man. Here's the thing. Here's what I do. You get an invoice and it just goes to not read. I don't read it. I leave it on read, as the kids say, right? Because here's why. It's an invoice. They want money from me. I'm waiting until I get that third or fourth notice because that's how rednecks roll. You don't get money first time. I got to wait until I'm in final notice stages before I actually even start to think about sending you real money. This never worked on a Southerner. Never happened. Rednecks in the world are like, yeah, I see invoices and they just go in the trash. That's how that works. So let's see how legit this works. So attach the list of invoices.
we have processed and payment has been made as of 8/1/2020, whatever, at 2:45 a.m. 2:45 a.m. I'm howling at the moon with the boys out by the burn barrel. I ain't making payments. Kindly review and confirm that these have been received on your end. Kiss my white, oh man, right on the hole, brother. Anyway, additionally, we would appreciate it if you would send us that. Now, hold on there. That's how you about to talk to me? Additionally, we would appreciate it if you could send us an updated list. I'd appreciate it if you'd stop filling my inbox full of bullcrap. Any outstanding or unpaid? Yeah, that's what I'm doing. Man, you really got the wrong guy up in this shop right here. Listen, at Earl's Tire Shack, we do not do anything with expediency. And if you get all uppity with us about it, that's a good way to find yourself on the way back burner on getting anything done. So anyway, looking forward to your response. Oh man, that's a long wait for a train don't come, my friend. Best regards, account officer. Yeah, that's how that works. I know that all the emails I get come from account officer. I'll send it back. I'll reply with, store owner, drunk guy. That'd be fun, right? Thanks for, I love how they give us a graphic and then the text of said graphic. That doesn't make sense. Is Billy on Malwarebytes staff at this point in time? Is that what he's doing in the back all day long? Is he writing Malwarebytes articles as he's just down in Wild Irish Rose left and right, or Mad Dog 2020? Let's see here. The payload was identified as our research team as backdoor.XWorm. Oh man, XWorm is a known remote access Trojan. Yeah, it is. I've actually run into XWorm before. It's actually, that was fun fact. That was Billy's nickname growing up in high school. He's about 376 pounds. He's also 5'6". So the boy's 5 foot tall laying down. I'm just going to tell you that right now. He's a good time though. He's a good kid. He just ain't got the sense God gave a sweet potato. But apparently that's why he writes Malwarebytes articles in his spare. He's doing a good job, man. He's a good boy, but let me tell you what, you get him lit too much. The reason we called him XWorm is because, A, he liked to peel his shirt off and show his deer or hunt life tattoo that he had across his stomach. He fancied himself like a redneck Tupac. You ain't never heard rhymes before, and never do you want to when it comes to Billy's rap game. We got Tyler Ramsey in the house. He can probably attest to that if he's ever heard of Billy rap. He's going to be like, just stop. Just Billy, just shush, stop. Here, let me just give you something to drink, and you can stand over there. But he gets a little wordy, and then he starts doing the worm, so we called him XWorm. That's just a coinkydink right there. XWorm is known as a remote access Trojan. How many times are they going to tell us that? Is Billy getting paid by the word count here? And a backdoor used for spying keylog. All of this has already been discussed. We do not. I know I'm a simple man, only got it to the 3rd grade, but you don't have to tell me 7 times the same thing over and over again. It's sold as malware as a service. Oh man. Which means cyber criminals sell or more often rent it to other criminals who can then distribute and deploy it as they see fit. Man, I'll tell you what, I spit a big old wad of tobacco juice right in their face. I ever see them in real life. Because you know what happens with all these people? What they do is they end up using it to like rob your grandma and whatnot, or other horrible things that I shall not even begin to mention. Yeah, bro, I tell you right now, if one of these kind of threat actors that do that ransomware business ever got found in the trailer park, it would not be pretty. It would not be pretty. As soon as someone knew that they had been doing that, they're going to be like, so you're that ransomware person? You're using that, doing all them horrible things on the back end with that money? I'm going to need to show you something cool behind this dumpster real quick. Hey, before we get down that road, does this smell like chloroform to you? And then you wake up in somebody's dungeon in the trailer park. Because, at least 5 people have their own dungeons in the trailer park. All right, why the email was suspicious. The email itself had obvious warning signs, like a generic, hi, and a vague account officer signature. Have you not heard of AI, kids? I mean, it takes 5 seconds to run that through AI and get a little bit better than what you had in there, because I'm going to have to agree with them on that one. The attachment stood out immediately because of the .vbs script. Right. What in the... Right, there it is. A tool from the late 90s and early 2000s. Today, almost every company blocks .vbs attachments, except for them. Hey, we don't do it here at Earl's Tire Shack. I like VBS attachments. We're the kind of people that if you got into our systems, you're like, how do I back out of this immediately? I have made a mistake. I don't want to exfiltrate any of their data. I don't want access to any of it. All right, here's their how to stay safe, which brings us to the top of the hour. Double check unexpected attachments. I'm going to start sending like multiple attachments back to them with my own malware. See if they like that. Don't open any executable files. Well, thank you, Malwarebytes. I was unaware. I'm just turning my trucker hat back. I was unaware that I should not run anything that runs like code. I mean, is that a thing we're doing now? You got to kind of hide that stuff. Watch for red flags. Well, man, you just enlightening me to how to stay safe out there on the interwebs. I was not watching for red flags before. I just YOLO'd every email and went, cool, attachments. Double click and download those bad boys, or in the opposite direction. Again, I'm drunk. Generic greetings, odd titles. Oh my goodness. Yep. What else? Keep your protection on and updated. Oh, holy crap. Yeah, that's me. I got to go turn that on. I forgot. I turned it. I guess it happens. I'll let you guys get down to the technical analysis on this later, but that is how we roll. Let me get into the chat. We'll see how chat's going today. Oh, everyone. Okay, I got to get out of the trucker hat here. It's killing me. Daniel Lowry with pocket sand attack on Flaming Donkey. Yeah, no doubt. Damn, Billy. He ain't stupidest guy in the world, but he hope that he doesn't die. Yeah. Oh, good one, Jay Gold. That's a good one right there. 2 a.m. I'm howling at the moon with the boys at 2 a.m. Yeah, you know I am, Tech Grunt. Because we are getting crazy. You know that's when things get lit. When it's after 2 a.m. and the burn barrel's dying down. People getting crazy, having a good time. And that's how I got this 3rd-degree burn on my right forearm. Yeah, this is the dangerous character for the fumble word drink roll. Yes, it is. We'll have to make an exception for that because I would never stop drinking at that point, which I feel like that character would like as long as the cup was filled with the appropriate necessary things. Space Taco says, I vote TechNet News post YouTube shorts talking about random cyber stuff. That is a good idea. That could be some fun stuff right there. Oh, great stuff. Kathy says gross. I don't even know what he said gross for, or what she said gross for, but that is funny. Well, there you go, guys. So we had a great, hopefully, episode today. Hopefully you enjoyed TechNet News. I know I do, always over there just being myself. We can all rule out Daniel being a trucker. I stepped away for 5 minutes. Where's the hat? We pulled out. All right, we're done. Thanks, everyone, for joining us today. We are done for CyberCast IRL. But guess what? I dropped a YouTube video today, so if you want to check that out, it's a CTF walkthrough. It's actually a part 1 because I filmed the whole thing and it was crazy long. It was like an hour and a half long. I said, that's too long. So I chopped it down to a 35-minute segment of a part 1. If you want to see me do a walkthrough of a CTF, feel free to run over there and check that out and enjoy. Hopefully you do because it helps me on the YouTubes. Of course, like, subscribe, notification bell, all the fun stuff. Leave a comment. The more we engage, the more the algorithm says, you know what, people seem to like this guy. I should promote him more. And if you want to see more of this guy on the internet, that's what you got to do. I appreciate you, everyone. Thanks for watching. Until next time, keep hacking.